Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the Voice of Reason. So, the title of this video is called A Lesson in Insanity. So, why is it a lesson in insanity? Well, I'll try to explain. And these are just stories that, or rather, tales, stories, what have you, that I have directly observed myself, and it has left me really scratching my head and really wondering where in fact we are heading. And I'm sure many of you have had many of these same experiences, so to speak. And it kind of revolves around a host of issues that we're seeing in our society right now, especially here in the United States. I don't know how prevailing it is in other areas of the world, but where I'm at, it can be best described by myself as insane. So first story, I was going to a restaurant, and as I entered the restaurant, I had my COVID-19 mask on my face. I call it my political talisman because that's what I believe it is. I believe it's a talisman showing your compliance. Now it is. But I go into a restaurant and I have the mask just kind of pulled down just below my nose. I find them uncomfortable and I breathe better without something over my nose. And so I go into the restaurant and keep in mind everyone who is seated at the restaurant and eating and at a table, which there are dozens and dozens, all have their masks removed. So as I'm waiting for the hostess to seat us, I'm politely told by another person, I think maybe the owner or a manager or something, could I please pull my mask over my nose? Now keep in mind, in about 28 seconds, I'm going to then remove my mask. So I just I look at him, and he has that glazed over look, kind of like an automaton. And I don't argue with him. I politely comply and pull my mask over my nose for about 28 seconds before I sit down and remove my mask. So I have also had the opportunity over the past several months to include during the peak of the pandemic, the worst of the worst, to travel via flight. I've had the opportunity to go to airports. So I go into these airports, and over the loudspeaker, you hear, "Please maintain social distancing." There are all these footprints where you are to stand and make sure you're 6 feet away, or whatever it is, from the person in front of you, all over the airport, until you get to the tram station, where the tram takes you to the concourses. So you go from 6 feet apart to everybody being packed into this little bus, and there's no social distancing. So again, you're kind of scratching your head. What is this about? You get to the concourse. Everybody is seated at least 2 spaces apart. Again, this whole social distancing concept, wearing a wide variety of masks. And if anyone knows anything about viruses, these masks are basically like wearing nothing. It's a talisman. It's like wearing a cross, basically, for some people, I think. So you go from that environment at the concourse to you get on the plane, and the plane is packed. Everybody is basically sitting on top of each other. So social distancing, 6 feet apart, unless you're getting on a concourse or some other area, to the plane where you're packed in like little rats. And again, I I would have to believe everybody is thinking the same thing. There has to be doctors that are on board this plane and understand that if this was real, if well, let me back up. I don't want to say if it's real. It is real, and if you get COVID-19, it could kill you. But at the same time, again, I just have to wonder when you get on a plane and everyone is packed together, and then these rules suddenly disappear. Kind of like the political leadership. A lot of these political leaders we see don't actually comply with their own set of rules. So those are just two or three instances that just really have caused issue for me, and I think this is more about now compliance and do as we say, not as we do. Another really distressing oddity that is starting to transpire in the United States is if you are in attending certain governmental meetings and even certain corporate meetings, and you proceed to introduce yourself. What I'm starting to see is the identification of your pronoun. Hi, my name is Joe Bob. My pronoun is he, him. Or hello, my name is Melissa. My pronoun is she, her. What is that? That I mean, I it's like something out of I don't know what it's out of. Tell you the truth, we constantly hear about the push of cultural Marxism, but I think this is beyond that. I think we're heading into new territory of what I would define as surreal social control. Surreal social control. I mean, because some of the stuff is just, I mean, it is batshit crazy. I mean, there's no other word for it. Who invents this craziness, and why are we doing it? Can't say, but it should concern everybody. It really should. Have a good one, everybody.